Hey Scruffy, how you doing? This is meow. It's another meow. Wow, another one. Wow, another one. Another one, wow. And wow, another one. So I'm a little late tonight. So maybe that's why he's so vocal. You mad at me for being late? We used to have dinner this late before, so so I'm about maybe 15 minutes to half hour later than the rest of this week. Okay, so I guess I'll bring out your food. So we got meaty pate with kibble. So it's the super supper again. Okay, so I'm gonna open the door. Okay, you got your food. Wow, I didn't even come through the door yet, and I think he just hissed at me. Okay, so I'll put the food on the table. Wow, another hiss. Wow, you're gonna be difficult tonight, aren't you? Okay, so got water. Okay, so I'm gonna walk past you and I'm gonna change your water. Okay, so take the old water out. Put the new water in. Okay. And he's walking back. It's just scooting the chair a little. So put my arm down. He's meowing. So he just ran past me. Want me to pet you? Okay. So I don't know, you've been acting weird. So you used to come right towards me to be pet. Now you're kind of like walking away from me. So I don't know why you've changed that. So it did heat up a little bit today. So I think I saw Scruffy sleeping on the chair. I think this morning and this afternoon. So I didn't see him very early morning though. And I didn't see him out on the deck or in the sun. So I had trouble sleeping again. So I ended up waking up really early this morning. Just kind of groggy, so I did a little bit of work for a few hours and then tried going back to sleep. That didn't work too well. And then because of the increased heat today, I decided I was going to do a later run. So that's partly why I'm later. or later, yeah, later tonight. So I wanted to go after it started cooling down. I think I still went a little too early. I didn't, so I was kind of anxious today, so I kind of wanted to go for a run earlier, but I didn't want to do it in the heat. And so I was trying to find the compromise where I could go earlier, but not hit the worst of the heat. So I also wanted to try to do a repeat of my 8 1/3 mile run. So it's a longer run than I've been doing. So that means I need more time out in the sun to do it. So when I started, it was still kind of hot. The shaded areas were nice, but the unshaded areas, yeah, definitely feel the direct force of the sun. So as I went through the run, it cooled down. So near the, towards the end of the run, it was starting to get nice, just because I've been out there so long. Because, it's a long run for me. So I was actually doing pretty well. So I think, the first 2 laps I did pretty well. I thought I was running a little bit slower. I think maybe my body was just kind of adapting to the fact that it knew it was going to be running longer, so it was running a little slower. But looking at my stopwatch, I wasn't really running that much slower, so so I think I had a pretty good 2 laps, and then the third lap was pretty good until like the very end of the lap. I kind of start getting like a small cramp in the chest or the back, not sure where, and wasn't even sure if it was a cramp. It was like kind of a tightness in the chest, and I was actually kind of worried maybe it was something going on with my heart or something. So I said, well, I'm not going to push it, so I'm going to slow down for a second. So I think after about a minute, kind of went away, and then I resumed. And then the fourth lap actually went pretty well. So I think, I was starting to drop off a little bit in speed, but not much. And then the final 5th lap, I did pretty well until the final 2/3 mile of the course. So I made it a mile, and then the last 2/3 I started struggling. So my feet were starting to feel like the sensation you get before you get blisters. So it wasn't. So I don't think I got blisters, but it was starting to feel that rubbing friction. And then just kind of normal fatigue with the legs and feeling a little bit less energy. But I made it, and I think my time was actually pretty close to what I ran last time, so so I think I did well. But so since I did the late run though, so got back later and then got back in the house, and then I was kind of tired and I just kind of wanted to sit down for a little bit. So I didn't want to do dinner immediately, so I needed to rest a little bit, drink some liquids. So that's why I'm a little late tonight. And if the heat keeps getting worse, I'm probably going to keep doing dinner later. But that's actually what we used to do when we first started this. The heat was so bad, because I started this in the summer, I think. And when I first fed Scruffy, I was waiting for the evenings to cool down, and I think I was running back then too, and I was waiting for the the end of the day to do my runs because it was so hot. Okay, I think we're ready for food, huh? Okay, let's get your food, okay? So, let's try not to drop the food. It's holding it funny. Okay, I think I'm done with that brush. Okay, flip over the brush. Okay, I think I'm done. So I'm really tired. I'm also pretty hungry, so I'm hoping Scruffy eats fast tonight so I can go in and eat. It's later, so it means I'm eating a later dinner too. So I've been using a new sunscreen for a couple weeks now. So I think a month or two ago I was complaining about some spray-on sunscreens I was using. And yeah, I got them at Costco on sale like a year ago. I forgot what the brand was. It sounded Hawaiian. So anyway, my skin was getting tan or darkening or whatever. So I don't feel like the sunscreen was working that well. Because I was using it pretty much throughout the winter, and I was still getting dark even with the sunscreen on. So I don't know if it's because I wasn't using enough, or it's just not effective, or maybe the rating was too low. I think it was like rating 50. So anyway, so I ran out finally, and I decided I'm going to get the lotion type next time, and I'm going to get a different brand, and I'm going to get a higher number, just try a whole bunch of different things. So I think Target had a sale on toiletries basically. So if you bought certain number, a certain dollar amount, like $20 or something, to give you like a $5 gift card or something like that. So I bought a bunch of sunscreen, fluoride rinse, and whatever. So I bought, I think, copper tone sunscreen, and this was level 70, and this was all lotion. So I've been using it the past few weeks, and I think I'm still getting tanner. So I don't know. This is the sport type too, so it's not supposed to wash off easily with sweat. But I don't know, maybe I just sweat too much, or maybe it's ineffective. I thought I'm putting plenty on since it's the lotion type, but I don't know, maybe I need to put even more on. So, found out Costco is running a sale on, I think also Coppertone sunscreen. So I might stock up on theirs. Though I think they only do the 50, not the 70 rating. But I don't know, maybe for just quantity, maybe I'll just buy a whole bunch from Costco and just pile it on and see if I see a difference. So it comes with both the spray and the lotion. I don't know if I'm a fan of the spray, but so one of the things I didn't like was the mist was falling onto my floor and it was making the floor dirty and sticky. So I actually laid down a blanket. And, I think that's been helping. I ran out of the spray stuff, so but I don't know, maybe I solved the problem, so I can try the spray stuff one more time. It's only spring right now, so I'm a little surprised. Yeah, already darkening. Because last summer, I noticed I was a little bit darker, but I think I'm actually darker now than I was during the summer. I think the reason was I was running so late in the day during the summer just because it was so hot that I was actually avoiding most of the UV direct exposure that way. But since it's been colder, and I've been kind of changing my schedule around to try to do things more in the day. And, I think I've been exposed to more direct UV. So tonight I used up the last of the Super Supper for this can anyway. And so tomorrow I open up a new can. So I think tomorrow it's going to be the smelly fish. So I think it's time again to do the smelly fish again. And so I got to remind myself to only put in half the earth. Diatomaceous earth, is it? It's such a hard time pronouncing things. So last night I messed up the noodle. Is it shiitake noodle? I messed that up again. So I'm looking at the Japanese maple from here. Seems like, yeah, several of the branches are redder than they were a few days ago. So it doesn't look like they've turned brown yet. It doesn't look like they've shriveled yet, but I'm worried that's coming, and I'm worried that means I'm going to have to prune another big section of the tree. There's not going to be much left. I hope that tree makes it. So I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos on Japanese maples. It sounds like they're actually kind of fragile trees, and they're known to just kind of die. Various reasons. Could be fungal things, or it could be all sorts of things that just kill the tree. And it sounds like you can't really do much about it. So I think I've definitely lost one tree. I think it's very likely I lost a second tree already. So the first tree was already kind of barren and dead. About the time my dad was already dying. So I was hoping it would come back in the spring, but it didn't come back all year, so I think it's dead. So when I was hoping, when I mean spring, I mean last spring, but I started tending to it last spring. So I waited a full year pretty much. And yeah, it doesn't look like it's changed. I think it's dead. And then this winter, it looks like I lost a second tree. So over the winter, it went barren, and all the leaves shriveled up and turned brown. So I pruned that one. And I gave it a fertilizer stake, and I'm hoping, maybe it'll still make a comeback this spring. Maybe summer. Maybe it's just dormant, and maybe I'll come back next year, but I'm hoping it pulls through, but I'm kind of skeptical at this point. And then, there's this third one, which I showed pictures of. So 2/3 of the tree turned brown, dead. So I pruned that a few weeks ago. The remaining 1/3 of the tree was still green, but now probably about 1/3 of that tree is now turning red. And coming out, we're in the middle of spring now, so it doesn't really make sense for the leaves to change now. So I'm worried, the tree is not doing well. Scruffy was slower tonight, but okay, I guess that's it then. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.